Oh, there are retired police chiefs from Weathersfield at the Weathersfield schools, recorded through communications, which is distinct from what is said. They communicated and also recorded them involved also with FBI, CIA, state police, and private homes that are involved with wire crimes of Weathersfield police through time. These are people, a whole bunch of people from Harvard Hospital tied to a Leahy family who have roles with drugs and medicines crimes and some untimely deaths at Trinity College and murders that were brought up at the same time, intercities. And they affected confessions to me on my street because I had live progressions. Because they have a people with the name Smith who work with the intelligence community, where Americans and Afghans have been for decades together. Americans and all these other countries in the news, Americans and Russians. They have collusions, illusions, collusions, and delusions, collusions too, sticking fake things in databases together. There are ones with the name Peruta who recorded capacity demonstrated confirmed roles with falsified police reports, faked communications with me, and or changed communications with me, including with what lawyers of the FBI and of the CIA and of the Weathersfield Police, involved with them with wire crime acts and whole wire crime methods. All along Route 3, there are a whole bunch. Hartford Hospital said there's a Chet Casper involved. I never had a class of him in my life. And there's a David Hill. His name was repeated to me too. I don't know him either. There's someone with the name Hill was typing in my comments. A bunch of the people in the comments, like a Joshua Julian and a Ray Cololo, they have recorded roles with the social media of a principal upskirt nature, involved with the Weathersfield police chiefs retired, with their kids and their extended family members, and intimate ties also involved with the same house. So there are a whole bunch of foreign and domestic doctors who have been forging and switching names. These are people with the name Cololo and Smith and O'Brien who are also with judges and prosecutors, family members, personally criminally involved, and with Judge Napolitano's Facebook page. I asked Judge Napolitano many times to get them on paper. I have no response. That's also communications. So you guys are supposed to follow mandated law. You can't do it on a mass scale. How they get away with this? They've been using all natures of rights to lie where they don't have the right to lie constantly every day of our lives. On a mass scale, like for example, if a kid has no other siblings, or if a kid has siblings, they're going to play that for their needs, for how they've kept criminally foreign influence, tactically delusions raw, identities of the law, pretending they could speak for honesty or integrity. Honesty, integrity didn't speak for the law. You would have revealed what our founders communicated for you guys to communicate. You guys have roles with the identity theft, fraud, slanders of James Madison to begin with, and of George Washington, who then agreed to help his plan and the founders behind him. You guys have other communicators for that. Then you have the nature of debate about it contains quality aspects in nature as criminal insidiousness nature / hypercriminal insidiousness nature. I'm not a lawyer. The former standing chairperson on the Racketeering Influence the Corrupt Organization Act, Robert Luskin, the former the former director of the FBI, is one of the names with on-off New York locations with the World Trade Center attack and the court next to it. A whole bunch of people tied to a Dan Keene and his mother and his neighbors have roles with body dumping spots and increasingly involved with them with federal evidence crimes, identity theft, fraud, slanders. I never saw a Dan Keene on a campus in my life. They try to make illusions of they're putting little things, they're putting truths, they're making like fake, like little magic tricks. Where and how too. They go back and forth with questions used criminally foreign influence. We could observe this. Black pupils. Sandy Hook campuses is recorded, capacity demonstrated, confirmed involved with this, with a whole bunch of names on off the state judicial branch offices. Also with neighbors of the Keens involved with World Trade Center predicate acts and the body dumping spots and identity theft, fraud, slanders, increasingly with people named Dylan involved on all sides of my house with the Weathersfield police planting evidences also with state police and FBI and foreign countries. They forced Saudis to collusions with them too. And at the court next to the World Trade Center that day. These are people that go with all sides in criminal and civil cases in the courts at the same time, and the police forms putting fake things in databases, stacking on that. When you hear the identities of the law speak in mass media, they cannot afford the quality of fact treatment nature as the Constitution on a bridge, and they need to pretend other. They were child abused. They came through criminally foreign influenced location/S uses, and the difference of them, including the difference of the names of the sciences, are used criminally foreign influence, tactically delusions raw, and relative to exceptions in exception nature, how we could discern this. If you watch my videos, the identity of there's an identity of hypersimultaneous that can be discerned 5 ways grouped distinctly from how 3 ways grouped. Excuse me. For example, those 3 parts of time. There's an extent of time that we know was true always of the past. There's an extent we know is actively true right now. And with group relativity and simultaneous relativity as the species volume science. Nature communicates answers to us. With black pupils, whites of eyes, same color eyes, different color eyes at the same time. Nature demonstrates answers to us, where we have individual species bodies of individuals with group difference/S in demonstration of that identity of hypersimultaneous. People pretending, so in other words, they prevent writing as one of the predicate acts methods that they use, and they get away with it per natures. So they make things pretend they're debatable, they pretend they don't understand things on a mass scale to force equality of fact treatment nature as criminal insidiousness. They're incapable of handling the simplest issues that come before the courts, as they have been stated collusion/S. There's a Brian Silver who's also one of the ones involved with people with the name Leahy, like multiple people with the name Brendan Leahy, and there's women in their family who have roles with a whole bunch of men and women at Hartford Hospital with drugs and medicines crimes with kids, and with names on my street, who also have roles with untimely death at Trinity College, even if it was made up, as ones involved with predicate acts with former director of the FBI, Robert Lushkin, and his co-defendants, planting evidence at every campus I went to roles. In other words, that's why they don't get on paper. I've been asking them to get on paper for years. They've been putting fake on a mass scale. They put little things fake and database. Then the kid was shot near one of the reportedly shot down the street from state judicial branch offices, which is also involved with the World Trade Center attack, increasingly with more and more names. They know mine. I don't even know their name. Some people tied to a Potter family, and people all along Route 175 and Routes 3 involved. All along routes, Berlin Turnpike, South Stein Highway, and at corners. I figured out what that was. They don't even understand the extent of it. They're just showing that they need to hide things from the past, active, grouped, and to come. They need to hide from what to come. Oh, pretend this is a little legitimate debate. See, the presidents and the candidates are sickly, distinctly victims because there is functions by how sickly, non-distinctly is left out, black people. You think one person spoke for the law? You think one person spoke for the economy legitimately? We are in a semi-ancient trap. All force mandated law here. All rap. I rap along. Correct. Vaccines. I teach us things. Who disbelieves? Get them on paper, one name in sequence, please.